Hello boys and girls. Today I'm going to be reading the Emperor's New Clothes. But first, did y'all forget to comment down below about some names for my friends here? This is Mr. Roofy. Y'all know that by now. And this is Mr. Rocky. But I don't have any names for these friends. This one and this one. So please comment down below for some name suggestions. Okay. The Emperor's New Clothes. Long time ago, there lived a very proud Emperor. He was proud of his palace, which was the finest in the city. He was proud of his city, which was the greatest in the land. Most of all, he was proud of his beautiful clothes, which he loved to parade in before all his people. Every day, his royal men blasted their horns and declared, "The Emperor is coming." Because of the way the Emperor spent the kingdom's money, there was very little money left for others. His soldiers were poorly dressed and often had to beg for food. One day, an official suggested, "Your Majesty, maybe we should pay the soldiers more money, so they will be better dressed and never have to beg for food." Upon hearing this, the Emperor flew into a furious rage. "What?" he demanded. "Are you saying I'm paying my soldiers too little money? Do you want to be thrown into jail?" The official bowed, lowered his head, and whispered, "I am very, very, very sorry for what I said. Don't ever insult me again," the Emperor warned. Everyone in the kingdom heard how the Emperor acted with the official. Now, no one would say anything to displease the Emperor. People from far away heard that of Emperor's love of clothes. From a far country, two lazy swindlers of Rex and Max heard the news. Rex said, "Let's sit by the giant oak tree and find a way to trick the Emperor and make ourselves rich." Day after day, they tried to come up with a way to trick the Emperor. One day, Rex jumped up and exclaimed, "I've got a great idea!" Rex explained his plan. "Excellent," Mouse shouted as he rubbed his hands together. "This will make us lots of money without having to work." Rex and Max got their weaving tools and their horses and went to see the Emperor. As they rode along, Max said, "Think of all the riches we can get by tricking the Emperor." "I'll finally be rich," Rex exclaimed. "I can't wait until we get to the palace." When Rex and Max came to the palace, the guard asked, "What brings you here?" "We are the world's finest weavers," Rex declared. "We can weave for the Emperor the most magnificent garments that have ever been made. The garments are also invisible to anyone who is unfit for office. These garments can be used as a test to discover who is fit for serving the Emperor." Max added, "We know the Emperor will be thrilled when he sees the wonderful beauty of these garments. We promise there is nothing like them in the whole world." The Emperor will be most delighted to hear about this, the guard said as he quickly went to tell him. When the guard told the Emperor about the weavers, the Emperor thought, "This is great! Not only do the garments have wonderful beauty, but they also have great powers. If I wear these clothes, I'll discover anyone who is unfit to serve me." The Emperor ordered the guard, "Have the weavers make the garments for me, quickly. Don't worry about the money. Give them whatever they need. Do you understand?" The guard rushed to the weavers. Make the Emperor these beautiful garments, quickly. Don't worry about the money. What do you need? Every day we will need the best silk and gold thread for these garments, Max said. And we must be paid before we do our work. No problem, the guard said. Right away, he got the finest silk and gold threads for the garments. Then he paid them with the large bags of gold and coins. We'll be working day and night to weave these beautiful garments, Rex lied. When they went to their workroom, Max said, we need to set up our looms so when everyone comes, we can make believe we're working. You're right, Rex said. Let's put up the looms. Every day, Rex and Max went to the palace to get more silk and gold thread. When they get home, they hid the silk, gold thread, and gold coins. When the Emperor thought about the garment, he became worried. What if I don't see anything? Then I would be unfit to an Emperor. This cannot be. What should I do? Then the Emperor exclaimed, I know what I'll do. I'll send my faithful Prime Minister. I know he's not unfit for office. When the Prime Minister came to the swindler's room, he did not see anything on the looms. He blinked, rubbed his eyes, and looked again. He began to shake. I can't see anything, he said to himself. I can't be unfit for office. Rex pointed to the garment on the loom and declared, look at the wonderful colors and the fine gold and silk thread. It's not this the most beautiful garment you have ever seen? Not wanting to be unfit for office, the Prime Minister quickly declared, I've never seen anything so beautiful in my life. Tell the Emperor what you saw, Max said. The Prime Minister went to the Emperor and reported, I just saw the most wonderful garment that I have ever seen. It is beautiful. I am very delighted to hear this, the Emperor said. Everyone began to hear about the weavers' work. One woman said to another, I can't wait to see these beautiful garments. They must be wonderful, the other woman said. Secretly, the people despised the Emperor for showing off. But knowing the anger of the Emperor when people disagree with him, they always praised him regardless of how they felt. The Emperor, wanting to see the beautiful garments, said to his faithful minister, let's visit the weavers. When they knocked on the door, the weavers dashed through the rooms. Come in, Rex said. Max, making believe he was holding up the cloak, asked, is this not the most beautiful cloak you have ever seen? Look at the wonderful colors, the beautiful silk, and all the gold. And look at these trousers, Rex said. Are they not beautiful? The Emperor began to shake. I see nothing, he declared to himself. Am I unfit to the Emperor? This cannot be. They are magnificent, the Prime Minister exclaimed. Quickly, the Emperor replied, they are beautiful. They are the finest garments I have ever seen. I cannot wait to wear them. On Friday, they will be ready, Rex promised. When Rex and Max came to the palace, it was filled with officials for a royal welcome. Rex and Max showed the invisible garments to the officials and to the Emperor. This is the cloak, Max said. Look at the beautiful colors, the wonderful silk, and the fine gold thread. These are trousers, Rex said. Are they not magnificent? Not only that, Max boasted, but these garments are as light as a feather. Wearing them will make anyone feel as if they were wearing nothing. The Emperor proudly looked those standing around him and asked, "Are these not the most beautiful garments you have ever seen?" Feeling the anger of the Emperor, everyone clapped and exclaimed, "They are beautiful!" "Would the Emperor please go into the dressing room?" Rest asked as he and Max made believe they were putting the garments away. When the Emperor was undressed, Rex and Max began to put the invisible trousers and cloak on him. "Do you see the wonderful colors and all the fine gold?" Max asked. "Are these not the most beautiful clothes you've ever seen?" "Yes, yes," the Emperor exclaimed. "I cannot wait to parade before the people. These garments will be my greatest treasure." The Emperor looked in the mirror and exclaimed, "These are the most beautiful garments I have ever seen. I cannot wait to parade before my people." As the Emperor proudly looked at his invisible clothes, Rex and Max quickly slipped out the back door, jumped on their horses, and rode away with their treasure to hide in the mountains. As the Emperor marched before the crowds, the people clapped and shouted. The Emperor asked different ones what they saw. They said, "The garments are magnificent. The silk cloak is beautiful. Your garments are lovely. I've never seen anything like it." The Emperor was thrilled at what he heard. However, in the city there was one family who thought their young son, Frederick, regardless of what the others say, always tell the truth. When Frederick saw the Emperor in his underwear, he did not cheer. Upon seeing this, the Emperor went to him and asked, "How do you like my new clothes?" Frederick lowered his head and whispered, "Your Majesty, I see you in your underwear." Those in front of the Emperor gasped, while the others behind the Emperor just smiled. The Emperor stood there in shock. These people began whispering to one another, "The child is right. The Emperor has no clothes." Upon hearing what the crowd said, the Emperor knew Frederick spoke the truth. He quickly climbed into his chariot and ordered the driver, "Quickly, return to the palace." The Emperor was furious at himself that he had believed that lies of swindlers. He was also deeply distressed that no one in his kingdom had the courage to tell him the truth, except for this one young boy. As they drove back to the palace, the Emperor said to his prime minister, "That young lad opened my eyes. I have been very proud and selfish. I always demanded that everyone say good things about me. From this day on, I want everyone to always tell me the truth, even if it's painful. I need someone just like the young boy trained as my future prime minister. When we get to the palace, bring the boy and his parents. I want to speak to them." When Frederick and his parents came, the Emperor said, "I am very pleased with what you did, Frederick. I need a true and faithful minister to serve me. Since you had the courage to stand up for the truth when no one else would, I want you to be trained at the palace to become the second in command as my prime minister." "I would be greatly pleased, Your Majesty." Frederick and his family moved into the palace. Because Frederick always wanted to be the honest and learn, he became a wise prime minister and became known as one who always told the truth. The end. Did y'all like the story? Please comment down below if you did. And also, don't forget to give me some name suggestions. And subscribe if you liked it.